Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode number 8 of The Rebound. We are here with my friend Michael Fear with the city of Northport. How are you, Michael?
Hey, Jeff. Hey, thanks for having me on.
Hey, man, it's my pleasure. My pleasure. Thanks for carving out some time to be here with us today. Hey, we're going to go ahead and go over the lineup for the rest of this week and also Monday as well. Hey, if you guys are having any mic issues or you want to make a comment or you have a question, whatever it is, just go ahead and comment. I'm watching on my phone here. I'm actually going to do a watch party as well. And a watch party is simply you click on the share button. And if I can figure it out here, I'm still learning too as well, guys. Here we go. There you are, Mike. Share. Watch party, start watch party, and shut my volume down to get rid of the feedback. Okay, so anyway, welcome to The Rebound. This show is consisting of education for our local community and also nationwide. We have people watching it from all over the country. And the premise of the show is really to help people or give them the tools to better their current situation during this whole COVID-19 safer at home thing that we're all going through. It's affecting everyone in some shape, way, form, or another. And also to give people and equip them with the tools to help them, like once the regulations are eased or even totally lifted, that some clear steps that you could take to rebound from this whole situation. For example, if you go through some of our feed, this is our 8th episode now. We had Josh, the mortgage man, on here talking about refis and also what is forbearance versus forgiveness and kind of educating on those things. We had the COO of Ideal Retirement Solutions on the page talking about budgeting, how to pinch and save where you can, and also how to get the most value. We had Jones Family Insurance on here. He personally saved me hundreds of dollars a year on my homeowner's insurance during this time. Since I'm sitting at home, I started reviewing all these things. Also, the lineup for this Wednesday. So it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're doing the show. So today we have a Mike Fear with the city of Northport with us. Wednesday, we're going to have the one and only Wifey Solutions with Vanessa Tomas. Happens to be my wife, yes. But talking about self-care, taking care of yourself during this time, like men, making sure you're staying groomed, shave, make sure you're brushing your teeth, please. Just maintain yourself, and it does something for your confidence as well, your aura, if you would. And ladies, she's probably going to be mentioning making sure you're shaving your legs. I'm going to get yelled at for that later, but I don't care. So there it is. So anyway, Vanessa Tomas is going to be with us on Wednesday. And so Friday also we have some experts coming on educating us about what's a reverse mortgage. And I've always heard a lot of negative things. However, the more educated I get for our seniors, and let's just face it, right, Mike, there's a lot of seniors down here in Southwest Florida. We're living in that area. So they potentially could tap equity out of their home. So we're going to have the experts on here kind of dispelling some myths and also some of the changes in the industry. And also on Monday, we have the CEO streaming in from North Carolina up in the mountains, Anthony DiNardo, CEO of DHY Media and also Shop Local here in Southwest Florida. So all that being said and done, guys, make sure you're clicking the share button below. As we're talking, you like something, throw the likey button up there. And we're going to jump in and hear from Mike what the city of Northport's got going on. How are the people doing? What are some of the things that the city is doing, to kind of to make the best out of the situation? So I guess we'll kick off, Mike. Where are you from originally? Because no one's really from here. Not too many people.
That's true. Michael Fear. I'm from Southeast Indiana, kind of close to the Cincinnati area, Cincinnati, Kentucky, tri-state area. And from a very small town. Found this place. My grandfather was looking for to get out of the cold weather. About probably end of 2011, I graduated college. He was looking to come down here, find a place that winter. And I came down to kind of help them find a place, get moved in. Went back to Indiana for a little while, came back for the next winter and thought, I'll come down and I'll get a part-time job and enjoy the winter. I just graduated from college, and then I'll go back up and kind of figure out what I want to do with my life. And I found a full-time job, met my wife, and love it.
Awesome. Yeah. Now, I haven't met too many people that are from here. And, my wife and I are originally from New York. We love our community. We love Northport, Charlotte County, Sarasota County, and we're extremely rooted here, and also Lee County as well. So as far as with the city of Northport, representing them today here, what do you do with the city? What are your functions like?
Yeah, so my official title is Community Outreach Coordinator. So basically, that's all things communications, marketing, outreach, things like that. So a couple of the things, I help with the city's website. I help with the city's social media. I do a lot of news interviews for Public Works, television interviews. Probably a lot. I've been here for several years now, so a lot of the items that I do are a lot of customer service type stuff. Probably maybe the big thing that people would recognize is I've done the solid waste lip sync videos that have went viral the last several years.
Oh, all right. You're the mastermind behind that?
Yeah. So a lot of the city's videos, not all of them, but a good percentage of them.
Hey, Mike, time out. When we're wrapped up with this, can you post on this thread some of those videos?
Yeah.
I so look forward to those, by the way.
Yeah. So those are me, and I'm based here at Public Works. But I do a little bit of everything for the city, whether it be, working on the census right now or some different things. So pretty much just all things communications.
Cool. Well, I would say that you were the man to talk to then, as far as about the heartbeat of what's going on, because you're the community guy too, right? So let me. I jotted down some questions, and I want to do my best to stick to the format. What would you say is the top thing that you love about Northport? What do you love about the community?
I think for me, the thing that I love is, I go to, not now, obviously, but generally I go to a lot of events, and whether that be, a newcomer day, which I think you guys have been there before.
Oh yeah.
Whether it be our Public Works rodeo. But I think the thing that I love about Northport is the people and the fact that there is a lot going on in the community. I feel like there's always an event that you can go to almost about every weekend. And it just keeps growing, whether it be a community yard sale, whether it be, the Poinsettia Parade, whether it be the Halloween event. There is always something free stuff that you can take your, if you've got a young family, it's perfect to take your kids to. And there's somebody that goes to a lot of those events, and I enjoy going and talking to people and about different stuff, and so I would say just the community events that are available, and just the people. I've enjoyed it.
I'd agree, man. We're at probably a lot of those events in Northport. From the aquatic centers to the newcomer days, to Poinsettia Festival, to the Halloween bash going on. There's always so many great things going on, not just for the seniors, but let's just face it, Northport has a lot of young families too, right?
It does. And we, for example, I plan our Public Works rodeo. I don't know if you've ever been to that. It's where we have all of our big trucks.
I think you've done it 3 years now, right? Or 4 years?
No, actually like 6.
Really? Man, I'm getting old.
The last 3-4 years, it's really grown. It started at 500 people. Now it's up to 2,500. But like you said, that event is a lot of young families because kids love big trucks, and there is, I think even Northport in 20 years, if you look, it's going to look probably a lot different than it does today.
I'd agree. It's growing super fast, and I think the whole area is growing super fast. Port Charlotte's just exploding with growth with the hotel, and so many, so many things are growing, and that's why I think something like this, a format, the Rebound, and someone can click through some of the past episodes, and we're gonna get through this, and the landscape's gonna look different than it did prior to us going into this whole safer at home, COVID-19. Certain businesses aren't going to make it out of it. And it's just, how do we continue to pull together as a community? And so on that note, what do you think, or how do you feel that the city of Northport and the community is responding to the safer at home, and kind of the shutdown on certain things. I mean, how are you feeling that the city's handling things? And
overall, I think very well. Again, my job is a big part of that is working with the public, whether it be online or in person. And, the one thing I noticed online is when the city obviously closed parks and as city events were stopped for the next, the last several weeks and the next few weeks at minimum. And the response online was very positive, as in, basically, thank you. I think the community as a whole was in agreement that those were the right choices. And, we haven't seen much pushback on that. And I think because everybody really is on board that, let's get through this together.
Right. Now help me understand, like there's the state of Florida, there's the county of Sarasota, and then inside of the county of Sarasota, there's the city of Northport. Now, do you guys have your own guidelines, or do you follow county and state, or how does that work?
Generally, we try to work together with the county. I know there's a daily call happening right now between city leaders and county leaders just to try to stay on the same page as much as possible. I think we're free to do our own thing, but generally there's a lot of cooperation between the cities and counties, and those decisions aren't made by me, but I definitely know the city and the county try to cooperate on things like this as much as possible. For example, a lot of the baseball fields, for example, are kind of maintained by the county versus the city. So that's something that you got to have that cooperation on. But we had our hazardous waste day was scheduled in March, right when this whole thing started. And we had to put that on pause. And that was an event that is in collaboration with Sarasota County. They bring their chemical collection center down here, and our solid waste staff here in Northport works closely with them. So we had to collaborate with them to say, hey, can we reschedule this once this is all passed through? And they said, sure. So, absolutely. There's a lot of collaboration on the county and state right now county and city on a daily basis.
Now, is there any type of like conflict regarding like the COVID-19, safer at home, like between the city and I know certain things you can't talk about, but like, is there like differences of opinions regarding the city versus the county? I know sometimes there's like that friction, right?
Not that I'm aware of. Every call that I've listened to, which is just a handful, it's more of just, hey, here's what we're doing. And I think everybody generally wants to stay on the same page and try to stay together in a time like this, whether it be, same thing goes for hurricanes. I've been a part of a lot of the not hurricane relief, but really the communication effort in the middle of a hurricane. And it's the same thing. Want to try to stay on page with what everybody's doing. And overall, everything, very positive throughout this time. And, to make the most of a kind of a unique situation, to say the least.
Yeah, and I give kudos to the communications team in Northport, because you guys do a phenomenal job. Like, especially on the social media side. Like, I'm always like seeing the stuff you guys are putting out, City of Northport, and like, so it's a great way to communicate to people. And I think you guys do a really good job leveraging that tool, especially with Facebook.
It is, and we get a great response on social media. We post a lot. I think there's a lot of, if you look at the city of Northport compared to some other cities, ours is very relaxed. It's professional, but it's not overly formal, which is a good thing for social media. We try to highlight a lot of our employees. We try to, some of our other communication staff just this past, I think maybe 2 weeks ago, they did I can't remember exactly what it's called. It's something like, Home for Heroes. And we asked people to send in photos of basically who they were staying home for. We got pictures of, a wife whose husband drives a truck for Publix. And she was trying to, stay home, stay healthy for him, to keep him working. Because, the Publix driver is a very important job right now. Other people staying home for people in the medical fields, nurses, first responders. So, and, we got a bunch of feedback on that. But overall, our public information officer said something to me a couple of years ago that I thought was really good. I had a post that went out that wasn't even about a serious topic, but we kind of got some flack for it. and he said, and looking back, I should have worded it better. And he said something interesting that I thought that stuck with me. He said, you got to remember we're the voice for the people. And that sticks with me now. Every project I'm working on, I make sure to remind myself that, in everything, we're just trying to show people what the city's doing so they can stay updated with, whether it be today, I posted about we're replacing utility poles on a street. So just so people, when they drive by, they kind of have an idea of what's going on. And with social media now, not everybody sees every post with the Facebook algorithm and how all that works. So we use Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, our North Report app. We've got people can sign up for a North Report podcast. So there's a lot of platforms, and if people want to find information in Northport, I feel like we are very transparent to give people as much as we possibly can.
No, I would say you guys do a really knockout job from the police department, fire department, public works, parks and rec. Like the list goes on of the great departments. So I think you guys are doing a stand-up job. Hey, Mike, if you had to, I guess let me back up a sec. I know in Northport, in the city of Northport, there's a lot of senior living. Like how are they handling things? Because right now they're the most susceptible, right? I saw Charlotte County. I got an email this morning about National Guard opening testing at senior centers or assisted living facilities, senior homes, things like that. Is anything like that going on in Northport where you have more government, like federal government, they're doing things? Or
I'm not aware of too much. It's a little bit out of my realm of expertise, but it's kind of as far as I know. Everything seems to be going good. A lot of the communication we've had back and forth, whether it be through social media with residents or any feedback we've had on posting this time, has been positive. So I haven't heard of any major issues. So as far as I know, I think everybody's trying to stay home and stay safe as best as they possibly can.
Good. Hey, quick question. I saw I think it was the rescue garage. They're up in Northport, and it seemed like they were having a hard time as far as they were getting an influx of animals. And are you noticing like any other maybe nonprofits that it's worth mentioning? Maybe people could lend a helping hand. And I had mentioned the rescue garage. They take in animals, not cars because of the garage name, right? For animals. So if you guys want to reach out to them, shoot them a message. I'll see if I could tag them in the post below. See if they need food or old blankets or I think they're doing not adoptions but fostering as well. Like, do you know of any not-for-profit maybe in the city of Northport that could use an extra hand right now or struggling in any significant way?
Well, I don't know any off the top of my head, but I'll tell people who to call. If people call Northport Social Services, that's the division that kind of heads this all up for the city of Northport. So contact Social Services. I don't know their number off the top of my head, but if you just Google Northport Social Services, contact them. They work closely with a lot of nonprofit, a lot of organizations that are helping people out. They'll be a good contact. But you reminded me, Jeff, I don't know if you've heard, but have you heard of the All-In Challenge that's taking place right now?
I have not, man. Tell me about it.
This is something, it's not really Northport related, but it is cool you people watching will enjoy it. A lot of celebrities right now, a lot of sports athletes, a lot of some politicians, I guess, are offering kind of experiences, and 100% of the proceeds go to food organizations to help feed the hungry during this time. So basically you can pay, $10 for a chance. I paid $10 for a chance to go to a Dallas Mavericks game, sign a one-day contract with the Dallas Mavericks, and go through the warm-ups, basically be an NBA player for the day. You can sign it. You can pay $10 for a chance to throw out the first pitch, I think, in the World Series.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's All-In Challenge. So anybody listening, Google All-In Challenge. It's really cool. There's anything from, I think there was one I saw, you can pay $10 for Justin Bieber to come sing a song at your house. And they just draw one winner, out of everybody that enters.
Right.
And I'll be shocked. It's going to be tens of millions, maybe hundreds of millions.
What was the name of that challenge again? That's fun, man. What is that?
All-In
Challenge. And if they just Google it or Facebook or Instagram or whatever it is.
Yeah, Google it, and there's a website you can go on there. I think Fanatics, the company that sells a lot of the sports memorabilia and apparel, they're kind of heading it up. But there's movie star, sports, athletes, and I'm hoping for my one-day contract in the NBA.
I do have one important question for you, Mike.
Yeah.
Why the Mavericks? Was there
That was
nothing
the only
else?
option. That was the only one. I'm sure there are. That was the first one that probably was on the front page.
I'm like, Mavericks? What the heck?
Well, it was like a day with Mark Cuban, be a one-day contract.
All right.
Yeah. I'm a Pacers fan, being from Indiana, but
I was wondering, like,
yeah.
yeah. But hey, okay, that makes sense. That was the only one.
Well,
there you go, Mark. There you go, Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
That sounds like something fun to do, and it's always important to give back in some way, shape, or another, especially during this time. And if there's one thing I know for sure, Mike, is that if you're feeling down in the dumps, one of the best things you could do is do a kind act for someone. And then when you do that, like, you lift yourself up, and you just feel so much better. And it was this is probably about 2.5 weeks ago. There was we were going to a friend of ours' house at Commissioner Hanks. We kind of hang out with them, friends of ours. But we were heading over there, and there was this pit bull in our neighborhood. Some people say pit bull. Oh, I don't see that. You know what I mean? It's how the dog is raised, right? So I go up to the dog, super friendly, no collar, and we were like had food packed up in the van. We were ready to go over there, hang out by the pool, and then, so we drove around for about 2.5 hours trying to find this dog's home. We're knocking on doors. We're, all around our house, and we're like, man, what do we do? So I really didn't want to call, the animal shelter, the county. I tried to kind of alleviate that from them. If we could get the dog home, it'll save their time and also resources to help someone else. But we ended up having to call Charlotte County. And it turned out that the owner of the dog had called an hour before us. And so she was able to connect us with the owner and the address, and she came and got the dog.
Wow.
So it was such a cool, how everything worked out, but it was all because we took the time out, even though we were going somewhere, to do something good, that we found this puppy, back to its rightful owners. And apparently he's got an escape record too, so the Charlotte County Animal Control knew kind of, white pit bull, friendly. Oh yeah, okay. So, but anyway, that's just our personal story. So we, and there's another story. I was walking in the neighborhood, and little old Italian lady, she's in her probably mid-70s, and she waits for me every morning when I walk by her house, and she has me carry a bucket of gravel every morning to her backyard. I don't know where she gets the gravel, Mike, but wherever she gets it, she can't carry the bucket to the backyard. So that's my good deed for the day as well. But I always encourage someone that, if you see someone that needs a hand, reach out. It doesn't have to be financially. It could be with a word, a kind word, kind of lift each other up and help each other through this. And Mike, if you had to say, maybe one or two things that the citizens in the city of Northport, our local community here, our local family in Southwest Florida, and I'm sure this could, apply to everyone else watching as well. But what are one or two things that someone could do to kind of help their community? What comes to mind? I know that's pretty broad, but what comes to mind?
Well, for us in Northport, there's one big thing I wanted to mention to everybody watching, and that is the 2020 census. So that is a good thing right now with a lot of people, quarantining in the home, staying inside. That data is important to our communities, whether you live in Sarasota County, Charlotte County, wherever. That data matters. A lot of that census data is used to determine how federal funds are given out, and that can spill into possible hospitals, schools, local organizations, as well as to determine seats in the House of Representatives. So the U.S. Census takes place every 10 years. It's in the U.S. Constitution. The last one was 2010. And the last 2010, I believe Florida added is either 2 to 4 seats in the House of Representatives from that data. And, as you probably know, Jeff, Florida is growing every day. So, more and more people moving in. I've heard something like 1,000 people a day. I don't know if that's true, but a lot of people moving into Florida. we're probably going to get more seats in the House of Representatives after this census. So
agreed. Yep.
It's not here in Northport, we've done a bunch of social media. We've put out a bunch of signs, to let people know this is a legitimate thing. It's not some survey. This is something that you actually can see benefits from. So it takes 5 to 10 minutes. You can do it online. You don't have to put in like your social security or bank number. Basically, all you do is put in, my name is Michael. I put in my wife's name, my 2 boys' names, your date of birth, your race, things like that. Really easy, but it makes a difference. And it's something that you can do to help your community.
So they would just like Google Census 2020?
Yeah, 2020census.gov.
Make sure there's a .gov at the end, right?
Correct, .gov. And, if you just Google 2020 census, it'll pop up. It takes 5 to 10 minutes. Northport right now we're one of the top, I think, 15 to 20 response rates in the state. But cities over 50,000 people, we're currently ranked second in the state for response rate. This response rate is like 60.7%.
Got to get to number 1, Mike.
I know we're trying. That's what we're talking about.
Second place is first place loser.
That's why we're talking about it. Right so Northport's doing good, but we want to keep that going. So again, it's easy, 5-10 minutes.
Right. So I mean, I'm guilty. I have not done it, but
very good. Now we're over 61%.
Right. So I will make sure I'm logging on tomorrow and taking care of that. And I can encourage you guys to do that. And it does make a difference. So that's one small thing. And then also tell your friends to do it as well. And Mike, we're going to land the ship here in just a couple minutes. I want to give some people, we have an announcement coming up, which is pretty cool. Ideal Retirement Solutions is hosting a live webinar, and it's limited to a certain amount of people. And I'm not sure, I know we're connected on social media, but I'm always posting about this Power of Zero book. David McKnight, he's a national best-selling author. We're doing a live webcast with him. He's streaming in live from Puerto Rico with us. And so that's coming up. I don't remember the date. I think it's in the mid to late May. We're going to be doing that with him. So any of you guys watching, you want to jump on that webinar with us. Also, he has got a really good DVD, Power of Zero, if you're not a big reader. It's all about the premise of how to get to the 0% tax bracket in retirement. So really good stuff. Help people rebound from in their portfolios as well through this mess. So, hey, Mike, I really appreciate you being here. And we'll be here Wednesday at 2:00 with Vanessa, my wife, a.k.a. Vanny Marie 3 at yahoo.com. So she'll be talking about self-care and, some tips and things like that. She's a little nervous for the interview because I'm not sure if a lot of you guys follow me on social media. I'm always catching her dancing around the house and doing things, and she sneaks a slap in when she catches me. But I encourage you guys to watch that episode. I can guarantee you it's going to be fun. And also make sure you're sharing this video with people that need some information about the rebound, some things that the city of Northport is doing. And also I encourage you guys to reach out to your communications people within your city. Like they're there, they're public servants. And so we're going to get through this together. And when the dust settles, I'm going to say that I would like to say that things are going to get back to normal, but it's going to be a new normal. And always just to be encouraging one another and be careful with the amount of media you consume via social media, news media, and take everything with a grain of salt and use wisdom with things like that, because everyone has a very strong opinion regarding certain topics regarding COVID-19. So let's just be respectful of one another, and we can disagree and still be friends. Which is kind of harder to do nowadays, but that's what I shoot for, and that's what I live by. So, Mike, I appreciate you so much for being here. I thank the city of Northport. You guys are doing an awesome job. Outstanding bunch of city commissioners that are leading the charge. And then also the Sarasota County as well. And then also Charlotte County. They're my neighbor as well. So, hey, you guys are awesome. Mike, thanks again. Hey, Mike, do me a favor. Stick on for a minute when we jump off here, and we're going to end the stream. So, hey, guys, we'll see you later. Thank you, and we'll see you Tuesday for episode 9 of The Rebound. See ya.